is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
First down, handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Buried, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
And welcome into Talkin Cowboys inside the SWBC Mortgage Studio. That is Lindsay Draper across the table from me. Welcome back.
I don't know if people are happy or mad right now, but I'm here.
They're happy. A proud TC alum and a day oneer, Mickey Spagnola.
Back at Valley Ranch with Mickey.
What's up, Mick?
Just trying to get this headset.
Yeah, we got a little technical.
How we doing, guys?
How we doing?
That's all right. I don't need it.
You're doing fine.
Hang
Welcome
in
in.
there, Mick.
Welcome into Talkin Cowboys on a rainy Thursday.
A bad rainy Thursday.
Here at the Star in Frisco.
I ran past 3 accidents this morning
Is that right?
in a half-hour drive. Yeah.
Were any of them Amari Cooper hurting his knee?
Oh, no, but there was a lady on a stretcher getting ready to get in the EMS truck.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's not what you want.
No, people, just slow down if you're local.
Thanks, everybody on Periscope, for the welcome. I'm so pumped.
It's been a minute since you've been on the
been a
show.
minute.
We love having you as always.
A minute?
Yeah.
It's probably a year.
It's been a long time. I'm a backup. You know, I'm like a strong bench player. Anybody needs me, I will step up.
Darian Thompson filling in really good last
Real
week
nice.
against the Giants.
Yeah.
Just like that.
She's known as microwave.
Vinny Johnson from
Yeah.
the Pistons
I'll
back in the
take
day.
it.
Immediate offense.
That's right. Bill Jones doing his TV thing today. Brian Broaddus not here today.
By the way, I peeked in on the TV. They're taping right now. Every one of them has a dark black coat on. And I looked in there, and it's like a bunch of Undertakers in there.
Is that like the uniform for the show?
I don't know, but they all wore the same
The
thing.
funeral
all
for
four
the
of them.
Vikings on
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football.
Ooh.
That's what they're getting at.
You got a prediction already.
We can get to that.
We'll get to that.
We can get to that as well. We might get to a little game that Lindsay came up with a week ago that I
all
loved
about
it.
games. Mickey tells me every day he wishes we played more games on the air.
He does.
So-
He does. Bar games. We got a bar game today.
Yeah, where's the beer?
I would love that, but that's reserved for the happy hour on Wednesday nights. Go check
So
that out.
last night,
And we had a good happy hour.
it was
last
great,
night.
right? Everson Walls.
Everson Walls is wonderful. I told him he needs to do more stuff. He is so interesting and so funny, and he's very perceptive about what's going on with the team.
And he's not afraid to say it.
No,
That's the
yeah,
good thing.
yeah. I mean, when you get to that point in your former career or whatever, it's not a career now, but he's unfiltered.
I love it. We're thinking about mixing him in the pregame live mix a
Nice.
little bit.
You need to.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think he'd be open for that. He's good.
What was his thoughts on the team?
Oh, he likes it. He thinks they're awfully good.
Yeah.
They just need to play like it.
From the jump, from
Yes.
first quarter on.
The whole game, the 3 games they lost, it probably feels like they shouldn't have lost. And it was funny. I gave Corey a homework assignment. Somebody goes, "He's not your intern anymore."
Our guy Corey Majors from the Fan.
He was on last night too, yeah, along with Nick and I and Shannon.
Nice.
But when Walls said he finished, we knew what he finished with, his career with 57 interceptions. I said, how many years do you think we have to go back and add up team interceptions to get to 57? And my guess is at least 10 years.
Yeah, how many have they had in the last 5, 6, 7?
Like 5 a year, maybe?
There was one year Jeff Heath led him with 2.
Yeah.
Stop,
And
Rob.
I think it was
As a matter of fact,
2015.
our
I think.
NFC Defensive Player of the Week, Xavier Woods, leads the team right now with 2.
Yeah.
And he got him in the last 2 games.
And I looked it up. I think it's the first time since December of last year they've had multiple takeaways in consecutive games. And they always say it comes in bunches. So maybe that's the turning point. Jason Garrett said the other day, this is the thing that getting to elite level, this is the next step, Linz.
What have they had, like 8 now in 2 games? 5
7.
against the Eagles?
7. They've got 12 for the season, and all of a sudden now they're middle of the pack
7?
and rising.
I must have miscounted.
And going back and watching when the Cowboys had that interception early on in the season, Cheeto? Is it Cheeto? Early
Yes.
on, like right on the sideline?
Yeah.
That is when I made up in my mind that that's what this team is missing, period. Because when you get an interception, not only a forced fumble, take away anything, but when you get an interception, I watched the sideline and they literally came unglued. And not only you're giving your offense an extra chance, but the momentum that this team never has that momentum. It's not like, you know what, that was a bad possession on offense. These guys are going to come out and take the ball away, and we're going to get it back down there. That's just, you don't think that way with this team because it doesn't happen frequently. That's when I realized that's the missing piece. You need those takeaways. You need that juice. And this defense, when they do it, I mean, it's unreal. It's unstoppable. So I see other teams do it. Like when Pat Mahomes was out, the Chiefs defense came up big, got a takeaway. They want, it was just like, wow, it's so much bigger than you think it is.
I think that Philly game was this team's max, but maybe not even max potential, but exactly what they can be. You win by 27. You start several drives deep into the other team's territory, and then all of a sudden now we talk about slow starts and all that. If you're not having to go 75 yards every time, your offense can be that much more efficient for sure. All right, let's get to some news of the day. The Cowboys practicing indoors because it is rainy outside here at the Star. Mick, we got some injury updates.
We do.
One on Amari Cooper specifically.
Amari Cooper had a MRI on his knee yesterday, so I'm assuming that meant he was very limited in practice, which was a limited practice anyway. They had him this morning visiting with the doctor, so they were waiting to get the final results on the MRI. I would imagine he probably doesn't practice today. If he does, it's going to be very limited. I was told, though, that he should be able to they should be able to have him ready for the game on Sunday, so they're very hopeful there. Cam Fleming's out again. He may be out another week even after this, so with that calf injury. And Jeff Heath ended up with those 12 stitches in his knee. It's limiting how much he can run. They're trying to do whatever they can to get him to the game on Sunday. So a little bit of a concern there. And Leighton Vander Esch, my understanding is, should be good to go for the game on Sunday.
Sounds good. That's progress. Jeff Heath with the stitches, it was 12, right?
12 stitches, and he's got a little shoulder problem going on also.
Okay.
But it's more, they feel like they can control that and kind of get him through games. Yeah, the stitches will probably limit how much he's able to do running around when there's contact out there.
By the way, 888-855-2297 is the number if you want to join us. Also, Linz is going through Periscope.
Sure am.
Woody woo, if you're out there, hit us up.
Are you scoping over there?
It's lit today.
They're bringing us potato chips.
Oh, look at that. Well, Fred's next door, so let's get him.
Savage!
Get him for Freddie.
And here comes lunch.
So the Amari, he's had multiple things he's been dealing with since training camp. Does that concern you guys at all that over the course of the season, it's been the foot, it's been the ankle, now the knee bruise that he bothered him during the Giants game? You guys concerned with it? I know, Mick, you felt like they're optimistic he can play.
Yeah.
One thing I do like is how honest he is with us in the locker room about it. He's like, no, it's 60%. And the next week, actually, no, the heel is done. It's just my ankle now. Like he will come out and tell us, or he'll do like he did in the Jets game and run his route and then just step out of bounds and be like, I'm out. I'm not good to play.
He doesn't pull any punches. You're right. Yeah.
I think the encouraging thing is that he came out of the game for, I don't know, was it a series maybe? 2 series, and then he came back and played.
Yeah.
Right.
If you can do that, then you're not totally debilitated.
Do you think maybe something flared up and that's why he had the MRI?
And I don't know if it's a bruise and if they're MRIing it, it's got to be more than a bruise.
Right.
Maybe he has a loose piece of cartilage in there or meniscus or something.
If there's swelling
that's floating around.
Yeah.
So they got to be careful on that. But yeah, it sounded like, they felt hopeful that he'd be there to, get in the game. I needed to double check this before I said it when Lindsay was talking about the importance of those takeaways. Remember, we had talked about it last week that they had in those first 6 games, they had never started a possession on the opponent's side of the 50-yard line. And then against Philadelphia, they ended up with 4 possessions on their side of the 50. And this past game, 3 more against the Giants. So after you go 6 games with none, you go 2 games with 7. It's rather remarkable what takeaways will do for you.
No question, especially if you can get one in the end zone like Jordan Lewis did at the end of the game.
Yes, that helps.
And his snap count continues to rise, and I think that's making a lot of fans happy, even though Anthony Brown brings them something on defense as well.
They just limited. I mean, that was Anthony Brown's first game back, right? After the hamstring injury. He missed, 2 games and got knocked out of another. So they just used him in dime, and they didn't play that much dime. But when they did, he was the other cornerback on the field in the slot, while Lewis ended up starting the game. So we'll see where it goes from here.
How's the Vikings injury front looking? I think Adam Thielen looks to be the biggest question mark.
Yes, he's got a hamstring, and he did not practice yesterday, and they did practice yesterday, by the way. So they had a couple guys limited, but no one of major significance, I don't think. They had Odin Jabo, I can't say it, Afidi, their backup defensive end. He didn't practice.
Can you say it one more time?
Try it again.
Ofidi? Mm-hmm. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Try the last name.
Nigbo.
This needs to be a drop
I have
right
no
now.
idea how
Thank
to
you,
do it.
Kyle.
He did not practice with a shoulder injury.
That's right.
So, yeah, okay. So both teams relatively healthy, although we got to keep an eye on Amari and Van Der Esch. That's a good sign, although, Sean Lee has played more and more the last couple weeks because of LVE's injury. How do you see that? How do you guys see that?
Whose injury?
LVE. You call him Leighton?
Catch that yesterday?
That was pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Jason was like, I call him Leighton.
Yeah. LVE.
The Vikings like going 2 tight ends. They play a lot of standard offense. So I think there's room for all 3 of those guys to play. And then we'll see what happens when they go nickel. If they go to the Sean Lee along with Van Der Esch in the nickel, or if they limit Van Der Esch from the nickel, since it'll be his first game back. So it'll be interesting to see how they manage the snaps, but I just think you'll see more of Sean Lee out there because of what the Vikings do, like to run the ball behind 2 tight ends. But then again, maybe he gives Van Der Esch a little bit of a blow so he doesn't have to go out there and play 70 plays or however many they play. And in the nickel, maybe he goes in and Jalen Smith gets a break there. Because before they were giving him a break and he was a stand-up guy on the defensive line. And now with Michael Bennett, I don't think they have to do that. I think it's better to have Michael Bennett out there.
And our Nick Eatman yesterday asked during the press conference to Jason, is it hard when you have a guy like Sean Lee who now, he played so great, played so much, and you have to pull him back, and Jason didn't hold anything back. He said, absolutely, it's hard. And that, I don't know. I'm the momentum train person. I'm like, okay, Leighton, why don't you just maybe rest more a little bit and we'll see what Sean Lee continues to do. I mean, I did the pre and post game show with Barry Church, who played alongside Sean Lee, and he was just like, wow, this is the Sean Lee of my day back in the day.
And Brian has really been harping on Sean's, to your point, he's one of these momentum guys. He needs to get in the flow of a game, flow of a defense, see what defenses or offenses are trying to do. And he gets better and better. I mean, sometimes, you see that with running backs sometimes. They got to get into a flow. I think there's a way to get them all 3 on the field. And because
the Vikings will get them all 3 on the field.
Yeah, and Van Der Esch,
to start.
He's the future of this thing. And I think he's played well. It's just he hasn't necessarily made those big-time plays behind the line of scrimmage that really got people howling and doing all that last year.
A lot of howling.
Not as
need
much.
More howling?
But yeah, Mick, sure. He's been productive.
Well, isn't he leading the team, or did Jalen took over because he missed those games? Yeah, he had 66 tackles. He was leading the team until he missed the games.
I don't think there's any doubt. This is probably the deepest position on the team. And
you got to see it last week.
Absolutely. And we didn't even – I don't think we've touched on Joe Thomas, who played a little bit in the game as well and has filled in for Sean.
But just remember that Sean was back at his old position.
Oh, yeah.
And the weak side linebacker spot is supposed to do what he did. You're supposed to be the active guy. You're uncovered, and you run to the ball. It's very hard to stand out as name me the best strong side linebacker. Strong side linebackers are just kind of there, right? And they don't play that much because they come out on nickel.
Especially the way offenses are now today.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's playing 3 wide.
Yeah.
That position was made for Sean Lee.
Right.
The most brilliant guy. He lives in this building. Film is his thing. I mean, he knows what guys are going to do before they do it, before the snap. I mean, he is made for that position, period.
And that's why they moved him over there to begin with, was to cover him up a little bit more and allow him to flow to the ball and make plays.
Yeah.
Van Der Esch does the same thing.
And he could play all 3 positions, too. If something happens to Jalen, he can go in the middle if they want. He's just so valuable, even if he's, 33 years old? Something like that.
He's kind of like Witten on the other side of the ball. He said after the game, I feel like I'm playing in high school again. Just having fun out there
when
playing.
People are saying that you turned back the clock, something's working. And I think, Witten had a year off, so we've seen that a little bit, more run after catch from him. But Sean Lee is, that's all anyone's saying. It's like, you look vintage Sean Lee.
Yeah.
I think something's clicking.
Big time performance from him. Anything popping on Periscope?
Lots of questions about the offensive line. Lots of shouts out to our man, Brian Broaddus. Offensive line, Mickey, once you've gone back and watched the game, was it just because the Giants are not good? I mean, I think the Cowboys have played not good teams already this season.
Right.
They haven't played as good as they did on Monday.
Yeah, and I don't think the Giants' defensive front is all that great. But they did what they should have done. They dominated him. I mean, they had huge holes you could have driven a truck through. And even Zeke admitted it. He said those guys were mauling them up front.
Yeah, he didn't want any credit.
It makes my job easy. So, yeah, I thought they played awfully well. And think about it, they're probably a little healthier, too, especially the tackles. Because they came back and played that Philadelphia game. They played through some things.
When they
were not
maybe should have,
right?
not should have said. I shouldn't say
but
that,
they played through it, yeah.
Right.
And that speaks to those guys, their character, that they wanted to be out there. Now this will be a much bigger test going up against this Vikings front. When you have Danielle Hunter with 8.5 sacks and Everson Griffin, the other defensive end, with 5.5. Those 2 guys have 14 sacks. Now, I'm a little skeptical on this number of quarterback hits.
There it is.
Are you skeptical?
Hitting that
quarterback
octave.
hits are 35 and 34.
Well, what are the Cowboys?
Well, I don't know, but that's 69 quarterback hits in 9 games by 2 guys.
This is probably the best tandem of edge rushers they'll face so far this season, without question.
Yeah.
And Hunter got 2 sacks against the Cowboys in 2016 when that was a rock fight between those 2 teams, 17-15 up there.
17-15.
So ugly.
It was.
And I got reminded, and I was thinking this was the second time that Mike Zimmer was going to be a head coach against the Cowboys, but he didn't coach in that game, if you remember. He had the eye surgery, and he had to stay home.
That's right.
Revenge season.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
And so he wasn't able to be on the field that game, which I'm sure just absolutely killed him, knowing him and how competitive he is.
After I saw Hugh Freeze in a hospital bed up in the press box coaching, I realized how much these coaches want to be at the game.
But you know that,
That was
right?
incredible.
I know that.
You know
but
it firsthand,
just,
right?
I know it firsthand, but there are just some funny things that you see that you're like,
coaches will do.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like you're in a hospital bed in the upstairs in the booth. Got it.
With the window view.
Yep. Laying on the bed coaching.
That was that was a first.
Did
That had
they,
to be.
did they at least kind of prop him up a little?
Yes, there's a clip of a coach walking to the 50-yard line, and he looks up and goes like this and raises his hand in the air, and they pan up to the booth, and Hugh Freeze, I think it's Freeze, am I right?
Yes.
He's got his fist raised from a hospital bed. Sorry, I got off topic.
Be your best regardless of circumstance. That's what they always say. So, yeah, and Zim, I wrote about it yesterday. Vikings defense, 4 of the last 5 years or five of the last 6 years, they've been top 10 defense. And they've had a lot of stability on defense. You mentioned some of the guys, Mick. Their linebackers are solid. They may have the best safety tandem in the league. You can't get off to a slow start against this defense, I don't think.
No, and you better not turn the ball over either. Because
First play of the game?
Yeah, well, while their offense has kind of sputtered at times, the games they've lost, the only game they scored some points when they've lost is this past week against Kansas City. But they did score 23, got beat 26-23, but the other games were 16-6 and 21-16. So, again, if you can, manage to score some points, you certainly help out your defense against a team that has some weapons on offense with Delvin Cook, and Kirk Cousins can do a number on you. Except the Cowboys have had his number during his career with the Redskins. So is it Kirk Cousins or was it who he was playing with? But they did go 6-1 against him when he was with the Redskins.
All right, let's take our first break on Talkin' Cowboys. 888-855-2297 is the number. Hit up Periscope. Linz is monitoring that one.
Know.
We'll get back to you next on Talkin' Cowboys.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
Ready? Okay. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheer.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS One score September 2019.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Do you want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
I'm Jay Novacek, former tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Back in the day, I was the guy who always got the tough yards, and that's why I run with John Deere today. In fact, I have a John Deere 3025E tractor that can handle any yard work I need to do, even the tough yards way out back. So if you have 1 acre or 1,000, John Deere has the equipment that's just right for you. Visit a John Deere dealer today and run with us. We are the official tractor provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Join us at another official Dallas Cowboys watch party presented by AT&T on Sunday, November 24th. Enjoy a festive game day atmosphere on Tostitos Championship Plaza at the Star in Frisco.
I'll be there.
Linz will be there as the Cowboys take on the New England Patriots.
Well, the pregame outside on the plaza. Bring your coolers, chairs, tents, heaters,
Might be
beer.
need a heater.
Oh, yeah.
Footballs.
Oh, my gosh. Bring your footballs. Don't throw them at me like everyone does every week.
Yeah, watch it on the 9 routes.
It's always the dads.
Yeah.
You know?
They just
It's
want to play
always-
catch with the kids.
My husband came by one time and he was like, I legitimately think people think they're going to get picked up out here. They think this is their tryout, like full-blown sweating, tearaways, 9 routes up on set. It's wild. So don't do that, but come hang out.
I think McClay's watching from the
They
window
think
just
there's
in
like
case.
an ongoing camera to just, maybe free agent out here from Frisco.
Every now and then we get a mailbag question about
Where do I try out?
Check out my mixtape.
Oh, you don't know how many people used to walk up to the ranch before there was like security, even a little bit of security.
Jeez.
They used to just walk in and it's like, okay, where's the scouting department? I need a tryout.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's every now and then there's a guy with a sign outside, and I'll always stop and talk and give props because that's got to throw some respect on that.
Sure.
Why not?
You gotta respect
Could
the hustle.
be me one day.
Because they all
Talking crowd runs me off.
They could all still run a 4.40 too.
Oh yeah, legends in their own mind. Me included.
Do you realize that back in the day, like through the 80s, they used to have an open tryout every year in the summer at Texas Stadium?
I've asked if we could do one. I could watch it.
It was like
here.
You had to pay like, I don't know, maybe $25 or something, and you got a T-shirt. And you bring your spikes and shorts, and they time them in the 40 and put them in drills and see if they found somebody that fell through the cracks.
Oh, well, that's why 4th and Long was so successful, because it's everybody's dream, you know? Jesse Holly shouts out.
And I think when Jimmy got here, they did it like one year, and then he was like, seriously, we can't be wasting our time like this.
Well, you got to respect the hustle, man. By the way, Kirk Cousins' numbers against the Cowboys. I got this from the great Caden Gates. Cowboys are 6-1 all time against him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 12,
I got that right.
12 touchdowns, 5 picks.
He'll sling it down the field.
He will sling it down the field. He's been sacked 13 times, too. I think Tank Lawrence has his most sacks against Cousins more than any other quarterback in the NFL per his career.
Oh, the Cowboys have sacked him 13 times.
Yeah, he's been sacked 13 times. He's taken the care of the ball better, though, this year. Only 3 picks.
16
Well,
sacks,
Dalvin helping out.
That helps to have the most productive running back in the league to date.
I wonder if that'll add any juice for Zeke. It seems like, Doug Peterson kind of ticked him off a little bit. And I don't know what ticked him off last week, but he running angry again.
Did you hear what he said yesterday in the locker room? He acknowledged. He said, "There's been guys in the league that have been better than me this year." Which you don't. I mean, a guy as great as he is, and in my opinion, he's the best player on the team, pound for pound. You don't always hear a guy acknowledge that, but he said that's okay. They feel like they're finding a groove in the run game halfway
Well, if
through.
the Cowboys don't open the floodgates with Delvin Cook, and he has his normal 100-yard performance, he'll be right back in the rushing title race. And
what is he now? Is
Cook
he in the top?
He's like 150 behind,
Yeah.
but he's played 9. Cook's played 9 games, so that's 100 game away from. And
he wasn't in Cabo for training camp?
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, absolutely.
And there's probably something to it. Took a little time, and I asked Zach Martin about it. He said we're getting back to we're running some plays we're most comfortable with in the running game, and there's just a better flow that Zeke has said about it, and it probably is a thing. It takes a little time, even with as many years as they played together.
Oh, yeah. If you talk to Nate would, first couple weeks into the season, he was like, it's going to take some time for Zeke. I mean, he's not going to just run back in here and we are week 10 of the season, so this is like hitting his stride right now.
And just think about it. If you just watched the game last week, he was even more patient than normal, and he had a couple more little stutter cuts in the backfield before he hit his stride or went back the other way, so he was kind of feeling it, and he just had a better feel for what was going on. And so, yeah, if you look at all the little cuts he made, not the big ones, the little ones he made, to wait for a hole, to wait for a block, he was really, really good at that last week.
And the guys up front getting to the second level and pulling and getting on the move in space, like it was a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, even screenplays, if you catch the ball, Tony Pollard.
Oh, yeah, it was a rough start for Tony.
That was a touchdown.
That was a rough start, yeah.
Kickoff, opening kickoff.
But that's
going
to happen, right? Like from the people I've talked to, they're like, okay, calm down. That's going to happen. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Right, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Tried to do it too fast, and he was running with the ball before he caught it on that screen. And he probably saw what we all saw. There was open green space the whole way with 3 blockers out front.
One step ahead of himself there.
Yeah.
Yep. We've seen Amari Cooper do it. Thinks he's got a touchdown, not focusing on the ball. You guys want to take a phone call?
Sure, why not?
We've got a lot of Periscope, too.
Okay.
After that.
Let's start off with our buddy Nebby.
What up, Neb?
In Silver Spring. What's up, man?
feeling. Is Amari Cooper going to play on Sunday? And who's an under the radar guy who has to step up for us in order for us to beat the Vikings? I've got one. Malik Collins.
Good one, yeah.
Take care. Thanks for being patient with me, and have a great week. Bye.
Thanks, bud.
Gut feeling, yes. I think he plays on Sunday.
Amari?
Yes.
All right.
I'll let you guys handle the other one.
Linz?
Malik
Under
Collins,
the radar.
Under the radar?
Under the radar guy for Sunday night?
Why not?
Yeah.
How has Malik played to you guys so far in this contract year?
Last 2 games, I feel like it maybe his best 2 games of the season.
He's really come on these last couple games. Yeah. And that's why I was going to say, well, is he under the radar? Because the radar was pretty high these last 2 games at least. Gosh, there's no one under the radar. Is Blake Jarwin under the radar?
Heck yes. Louder, Mickey. Louder from the people on Periscope.
Yeah.
We need more Blake Jarwin.
They're asking for that?
And me.
Yeah.
Me and the guys on Periscope and gals.
He's getting, 25 snaps a game, something
More,
like that?
please.
See, here's what it comes down to. And like everybody wants a yell for that, right? But who was the leading receiver in the game? It was Jason Witten.
The GOAT.
Right? 8 catches for 59 yards or whatever it was. When Jarwin can excel is they get in matchup problems. The defense
I
does.
know. You're right.
Because he can, if they want to cover, if you go 2 tight ends and you're going to try and cover them with a linebacker, that's probably not going to work out so well. And then it doesn't work out when he has a head of steam and Janoris Jenkins does an Olay on it. That was the most embarrassing attempt at a tackle I think I've ever seen.
Loved that.
He put one arm out and then did Olay like he was
people still
fighting
want
a
to
bull.
tackle.
And they didn't want anything to do with him. But anyway, yeah, and so he can get down the field, but you got to get the right matchups in the game, and you got to block right, and the whole thing's got to work out. But this 2 tight end offense has been very effective, I think.
Blocking, too.
Everybody wants 3 wide and sling it around, and okay, fine. But his blocking is improved, and when they go too tight, it causes a mismatch for opposing defenses.
I'll go Randall Cobb. He's not under the radar, but let's get him a touchdown.
4 touchdowns taken away this season.
Let's get him
from Randall Cobb
in the end zone. He's played Minnesota many times in his career. I just feel like he and Dak are really close. They're close on having a breakout game, especially if Amari might be limited. Yeah,
we counting Jordan Lewis as under the radar?
Absolutely.
Well, not if he's starting.
Well, that's what I'm getting at right here.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about this? Because this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I did a story on this past offseason, went straight up. Chris Rashard, is this guy your exception to the rule or not? Is he going to play more or not? He said he is. He's my exception to the rule. He's 5'10", doesn't look like all my other guys who trot out there. Every time he makes it, what is it, like 6 turnovers from him and how many starts? Like 9?
Just around the ball a lot.
And I'm not even going to say it's lucky. Like when the Cowboys drafted this guy, and I looked at the college film like all of us did, like there is some insane talent here and athleticism, and he's very, very smart as well. I don't know how much longer we're going to have Jordan Lewis hanging out on the sideline.
Well, if, you get Daniel Jones to throw you a pass, it was a Larry Brown interception. He got beat. The guy threw a bad pass right to him.
Wait, not this last game.
The Giants game.
That was Xavier.
Not the Giants, the Eagles game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wentz threw it right to him.
Give the man some credit.
But no, I'll give him credit for being able to scoop the ball up on the run.
What have we seen from everyone else? I want turnovers, and I don't care who does it. I see turnovers from when he's out there. Thank you, Kyle.
I got you.
Just get it
I like
done.
your point.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
I don't know if he's some magic combination when they get out there, or if it doesn't seem like pure luck anymore though. Doesn't seem like, maybe he's unassuming out there. Maybe he sneaks around.
Well, he's got a fourth of the interceptions.
Yeah, and I think
he's got one.
And the Christmas card subscriptions in the mail for you, PFF, they had him rated very high this past game.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
He's doing something right.
Scoop and score.
And Lindsay's right. He's earned more playing time.
His coverage was much better in this game than it had been previously.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Let's wrap it up next on Talkin' Cowboys. We got one caller holding, and we got Periscope still popping off. That's next on the show.
5. Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Want to show your Texas and team pride too? You can. By purchasing your own Stetson, you can look just like how the flag guys do on field at every home game. Stetson hats, the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys and your favorite football team. Get yours today in the Stadium Pro Shop or at Stetson.com.
Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. Give me an S. S. Give me an O. O. What's that spell?
So.
Are we gonna win?
Not if we play like we cheer.
Just okay is not okay. Whether it's cheerleaders or your wireless network, AT&T is America's best wireless network. Best network based on GWS One Score, September 2019.
Essilor is a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys, helping fans see more and do more with our best vision solutions. Our lens technologies reveal a world more beautiful than you can imagine. For a limited time, get the Essilor Next Gen offer. When you buy the latest generation of Transitions lenses with select Essilor lenses, you can choose a second pair of clear lenses for free with qualifying frame purchases. Restrictions apply. Find a participating eye care professional by visiting EssilorUSA.com. Essilor. See more, do more.
So, you're shopping, and that's when you see it. Aisle 23. Dr. Pepper stacked from top to bottom as far as the eye can see. The phrase too good to be true comes to mind, yet there it is. A rich, delicious Dr. Pepper paradise. Wait, did that can of Dr. Pepper just open itself for you? They all are. As if to say, so nice to treat you. And even though it feels weird to talk to a can, you pick one up and say, it's so nice to be treated. Dr. Pepper, so nice to treat you.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Well.
Are
any of you doing holiday travel? Well, take us along. Us is Jack Black. Free travel buddies with your $65 purchase. You can get a Pit Boss antiperspirant and deodorant or a cool moisture body lotion. Use the code TRAVEL. Go to getjackblack.com and shop right now.
Way to go.
Nailed it.
We got the Lindsay cam on that one.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Get the reacts. That was good.
Not everybody gets to hear those things, you know.
Well, Linz listens, but I mean, it is a daily.
I always listen.
It is a daily staple, and you did pretty good. You've done good this week. I think it's Brian's not staring you down this week yet, and making you nervous, and you flew right through it.
Don't make me nervous.
You're doing great. What are you looking up?
I was just looking at Jordan's stats from the game. Had 6 tackles. Usually when a cornerback has a lot of tackles, that means somebody catching the ball in front of him.
See, he has this list. He has a list.
In the break, I told Mickey I need to know the truth. What is it? What's the truth?
No passes defensed.
Because he's not in very much.
No, he started. He was on every nickel
How many does Byron Jones have? Because teams don't pick on Byron Jones.
Right.
So the lack of PBUs, that means he's not making plays? He is making plays.
He's got 4.
Get to the bottom of this, Mick.
Big fella.
I need to know your feelings. Sort through them tonight.
He's got 4.
There's something there.
He's got a list. He has a list of
Anthony
guys.
Brown's got 4.
Noah Brown, Jordan Lewis, Jeremy Mincy when he was here. They're just
hated
guys,
the Mintz.
Just guys that
Jordan Lewis doesn't fit in with the other 2.
Okay, good. He shouldn't.
Okay, so he's hanging out on the middle list.
He's much better than those.
Okay.
The only reason everybody liked Mincy was because he was in the locker room every day and he did interviews.
I do love interviews.
Right?
He led the team in sacks one year.
6.
Well, that's
if DeMarcus Lawrence finishes with 6 this year, you're going to say he stole money.
Do we want to open that can of worms right now? It's 11:40.
You're talking about two different planets. Yeah, let's not
solar system of Cowboys.
I just don't want to hear that he led the team in sacks.
What's on the scope, Linz? Anything
A lot of questions about Cheeto and Stephon Diggs and what we think the Cowboys back end is going to look like against Kirk Cousins and his guys.
The Cowboys will play their side, so it depends on what Minnesota, where they want to line those guys up, right? What side Diggs going to be on. And I would imagine they'll play a lot of man, but they'll mix in some zone on this too. Try to confuse Cousins a little bit.
Yeah. And they don't really use their corners to follow guys either. They've kind of stuck to the sides, and that's a confidence indicator of Cheeto too as well.
That's what the Cowboys do.
And it'll be a little bit more, a little less difficult if Thielen is not ready to go.
He's not going to play.
It doesn't sound good. He played a few snaps last week, missed the game before, and he just may need some time.
I believe they have a bye after the Cowboys game. The Vikings.
Probably about time for it.
I
maybe that's what they're trying to do.
And then you got to deal with Treadwell, right? And former first-round pick, if I remember. So yeah, it doesn't get that much easier. So yeah, I think that's the way they play it, and depending on how they're running the ball, you may play less man because when you get in man and teams start running on you, you can get yourself in trouble.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Jim in Pasadena. You're up next on Talkin Cowboys. What's up, Jim?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for taking my call. Jordan Lewis tracks the ball so well. He has great ball skills, but I went back and looked at Michigan tape wondering the same thing you're wondering. Why isn't this kid playing? And he doesn't play the deep route well. The receivers just separate from him. They kind of bully him, and he doesn't get out of his hips too well. And especially when he's covering in the slot. So when teams figure that out, I think we might find out why he's not in there all the time. I got a question for you guys, fun question. It's 3rd and long, and you want your NASCAR defensive line. What 4 kids are you putting in there? For me, it's Lawrence, Quinn, Collins, and Bennett. And I'll let you go. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Jim.
Good thing he agrees with the coaches.
Because we saw it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Lewis or are you talking about the defensive line?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you're referring to, Mickey.
Have you come around in the last 5 minutes?
It was the defensive line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the hips assessment on Jordan
I don't
Lewis?
know about the hips. I do know about deep crosses that he doesn't keep up with. Yeah.
Okay. But when they back to Bennett and what do you say, the NASCAR defensive line?
That was my sound effect.
Very good.
I love it. That's probably what they had in mind when they made the deal,
yes.
Right? Get another speed rusher on the field.
I thought I saw that.
What?
In the game.
No, they did. You saw Bennett go from, I think he played a lot of left end.
It's just a fun game now. Now we get to pick and choose and plug in who we like. I'm with Jim.
Yeah.
Jim Pasadena. Yep. I'm with Jim.
That's the defensive front you're going to see, especially in nickel situations. And you'll see Bennett play a little bit left defensive end and on standard downs to give Lawrence a break, and then they'll move inside and Lawrence will come in. And he'll eat on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Everybody eats.
Watch out.
Eat.
No loafing.
Got 1 minute to go. Anything else?
1 minute? I forgot the show's 45 minutes now.
Flies
you
by.
were waiting on
I was just digging into Periscope.
Hellman's going to be over there looking at his watch.
Well, since I'm not on tomorrow, I'd love to hear your predictions. Can we do that?
No, you'll have to listen.
Give us your prediction.
I'm going Cowboys. Cowboys win. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be a 17-15 repeat. It's going to be Uggs. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be prime time. There's going to be black cats everywhere. It's going to get wild.
You got a pick to click besides 27?
Mickey, I don't even know if I can look at you right now. How about I think the Cowboys get creative on offense. Like we go back to those early Kellen Moore days back at the beginning of the season a couple months ago.
Sky Wars, yeah.
They just need to slow down those defensive ends.
Yeah.
It's going to be a test for Tyron and Lyle.
Yeah.
Take advantage of their ability to get up the field.
I think the way those guys were moving, though, last week, the bye week helped. They're healthier.
Did we not have a Periscope question?
Where's Randy Gregory for our NASCAR defensive line?
No. That ship has sailed.
Ooh, nice drop, Kyle.
He's on it right now.
Is that a ship or a NASCAR?
That's NASCAR.
Oh,
That's
okay.
NASCAR. You're saying the ship has sailed. It's sad days.
I know.
That, honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I thought about
here.
putting him in my NASCAR group.
At least for this year.
We
I
haven't.
just don't see it changing.
People ask us, and we just don't have an update on it.
Are you guys happy that I didn't bring up all the Dez talk for the show?
Why? What happened?
Oh, he just says he's going to start making some calls. He's ready to get back in the groove, and Amari's hurt, and
he just had a birthday. I saw.
Depth. Did you talk to him?
No, I saw all the tweets.
Yeah. He's doing well. Seems like he's doing well. Happy birthday. What was his birthday? What is it? 30,
We're
31?
the same age, so he's probably 30. I'm
Yeah.
almost 30.
Somewhere around
Help
30.
me.
He's getting there. All right, we're getting towards the end of the week. Lynn, thanks so much for filling in.
Thank you
thank
guys
you for
letting
doing this.
me come on. This was so much fun.
Anytime. We'd love to have you back.
All right, you're our top choice coming back when someone's
I'm telling
missing.
you, I'm a great six man off the bench. You can be Luca. Hey, you can be Dirk. I'll be whoever. Back you guys up.
Fair enough.
Talking Cowboys for life.
Barea.
JJ Barea?
Yeah,
played last
JJ.
night,
JJ played well.
Let's go.
All right, the break is next. Thanks for joining us on Talking Cowboys. We'll be back at you on Friday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?